Okay, guys, everybody on the call, welcome. Before we get started, I definitely want to give a shout out, a thank you to the president of GaREIA, Mike Jacobson, who allows this type of trainings to be brought to GaREIA. And I want to thank the executive director, Karen Yap, because she really also has a huge vision for the trainings and everything that we're bringing to GaREIA, so people can get a lot more in their car and not always just having to come in. So tonight we have the second part of a 3-part series. It's all about attraction marketing. And I am Wendy Lovejoy. I'm the marketing director for GaREIA. And one of the things I wanted to bring to the table was marketing. A lot of people see marketing very differently. So it doesn't change because you are doing real estate or you are doing multi-level marketing, or if you are a real estate investor, or if you own a car wash. It doesn't change. Marketing is marketing. And one of the things that I was hoping people understand is that in marketing, when you're building a business, what's more important is, of course, you need the trainings. You want to come out to GaREIA and you want to get the trainings. You want to have a goal. We talked last time about having a why, knowing what you want to accomplish in real estate. And for investors, it's different. Some people want to buy and hold 10 properties. Some people want to flip 10 properties. Some people just want the home to live in and one extra home. Whatever it is you want, you have a better chance of getting it when you understand marketing, okay? Even your business card is going to give you greater success when you understand marketing. And in marketing, I want you to imagine a pie, and you've cut out 8 slices. In those 8 slices, the things that you want to think about doing is, if you are an investor, you want to invest in real estate, you want to think about your story. What is your story that made you get into real estate investing? And out of that, you can create what we call an irresistible offer. It could be simply a PDF, a little, checklist of some sort, whatever you have now knowledge of. It could be 3 paragraphs. It could be 50 tips on such and such, but that's one piece of the pie. Another thing that you may consider at a later date is speaking. When you come to GaREIA, don't come and be quiet and don't let people get to know you. Come out, get to speak up. Let people know that you are there and what it is you're there to accomplish. The more verbal you are in asking questions and getting to know people, the better your business will be. There's a lot of classes at GaREIA. If you're an expert at something, find out. Maybe you can get in front of the room and share a story. Maybe you can share a testimonial. But again, come to the workshops, get on the teleclasses, even ask a question. Make sure you mention your name, who you are, what state you're in. People start becoming more connected with you. And we're still talking networking, because some people think when I go to an event, I go there one time and I'm going to get everything I need. You want to get connected to an association. Like being a member of GaREIA is a great association to be a part of. You also want to see in your area, is there a BNI group? Is there, if you're a married or you're a couple, is there somewhere in your subdivision that maybe couples get together? Is there an after networking type of event or some social event you can connect to, whether it's church or the corner, a weekly or monthly group? Put a slot out that you're going to connect to these things. The other thing you want to look at in building your real estate investing and getting it automated, you want to start looking at, as you grow, we're still talking about part of your pie. I just gave you more than one piece. One is your irresistible offer. Another is those teleclass and workshops. Another is your associations. Another would be unpaid sales force. What family members, what friends have you told what you do, and they're constantly telling other people? A great person at that, and I've never met anybody who pairs people together like Karen Yap at GaREIA does. Once she knows what you do, she's going to know exactly who to connect you to. How many other people do you know doing that for you and with you? The other thing we talked about a little bit on the last week's call is your social media. Your social media helps you to stay in touch with people. We talked about speaking, getting up and being verbal. That's another part of your pie. And then you want to learn how to blog. We have at GaREIA for testimonials. If you're brand new and you want to share what made you come to GaREIA, that would be a great place to start. Feel free to email me. If you see me at GaREIA or pull me to the side and say, Wendy, I want to give you something for the blog, because two things are happening. You're sharing your belief or whatever you're looking to get from GaREIA, and then GaREIA's audience is getting familiar with you. So you're not doing it for GaREIA. You're really getting something back by doing that, and you also having your content out there forever. GaREIA is not going anywhere. I see information. Karen showed me the first year I signed up at GaREIA in 2007. So this is how credible your information is. It stays out there when you get connected this way. One of your pieces of pies is networking. And that's what we're going to talk about tonight, because sometimes people connect and they come out and they don't really understand how to network correctly. And as I said before, it doesn't matter what the product is. I used the same marketing techniques when I was a real estate broker. I used them when I was a Highline car rental person. When I got involved with church, when I became a real estate investor, or the same principles work. As a business coach, the same principles work. And so tonight, what I wanted to do, I know we should have had Peter Pasternak was going to do the networking call with me tonight, but he got called out of town. However, if you check out the website, he will be at GaREIA live and in person, sharing how to network with a purpose on April, I believe it's the 21st, so Karen can correct me if I'm wrong, but he will be there in Tuesday. Way to go.
22nd.
Thank you so much, Karen. So, guys, you want to come out and experience that for yourself. I mean, I've literally heard him and his networking tips, and it's well worth coming out. It'll really bring you back a lot of money in the long run. But tonight I have a guest with me, and this is a young lady that I asked to join me on the call because she's pretty brand new in the business she's doing. She's got real estate, so she's kind of new in that arena too. And she is somebody that is pretty okay with asking whatever questions about networking. So tonight we're going to role play a couple of scenarios and share some information and then get back to you open up the call so that you can ask questions. So the first thing I'd like to do is, this is a person that I consider a friend. She's somebody that I support what she does. She supports what I do. She's one of my coaching clients and a person who is putting this stuff into use, but like I said, brand new at it. And I'm going to let her share a little bit about herself, and then she will go ahead and ask me the first question. So her name is Anissa Reed. Anissa, would you like to share with the audience whatever comes to your mind about yourself and why you did this call?
Yes, thank you, Wendy. Hi, everyone. Again, my name is Anissa Reed, and I just want to give it back to Wendy. I started working with Wendy, I believe it was last October, and ever since then, I just she has just her presence in my life has just pretty much changed me personally in my business, and pretty much in my life. She's also become a very good friend of mine, so I just wanted to give that back to her. As far as me, I am a mom. I have a preteen and now a newborn. I'm a wife. I have a career. I also have real estate. I decided to get into network marketing, so I also have a small business now that I work from home. I am an organogold distributor to where I started a coffee business from home and I grow it from home, basically. Why I decided to be on the call is because, again, I'm fairly new with network marketing, and I can say that there is a little bit of struggle and a little bit of obstacle in regards to networking. So I took this opportunity to go ahead and do the role play with Wendy, so it can help me grow and also help anyone else who also struggles in this area.
Awesome, Anissa. And I have to share, even though we connected around October, she took some time off. When she says a brand new baby, she really means it. And then she's got a vacant property at this point, but she believes in investing. She's been out to GaREIA. She's been to the general meeting. And so what would be your question, your first question about networking?
Well, my first question, I guess I want to know what should be determined before we begin to even introduce our business to anyone? What should we determine about our business before we start talking about it?
Right, and this doesn't matter. Like I said before, your business, if you're an investor, whether you're wholesaling, you're flipping, you're buying and holding, you run a business. So you want to think of it as a business. You definitely want to have business cards. And, you should tell everybody everywhere you go. I call, like Bill Cook calls it door knocking. I call it peeking, prospecting, cold calling, any way that you can share your information. If I walked into a Starbucks and somebody's in front of me, we're going to start a conversation, and before it's over, they're going to know that I am a business coach. They're going to know that I am looking for certain types of properties. You've got to be willing to share this information all the time. But sharing the information and throwing it down somebody's throat are two separate things. So when you ask, Anissa, when do you start sharing this information, give me a scenario, because I think people will see it better if we role play a specific scenario.
Okay. Well, I guess the question came from when I first started with network marketing. I was just pretty much, like you said, just talking to any and everyone and not really getting anywhere. And I remember with you mentioning to me that sometimes you do have to find a target market, right? Mm-hmm. So as I began to do that, that's when I started to see a difference. So I guess, I don't know, would that be a scenario we would play or?
Sure. So let me just kind of clarify it a little bit. What I mean by a target market, you have to figure out first, are you going to be, you're a real estate investor. You want to buy some property, and do you want to hold it? Do you want to buy and flip? Do you want to wholesale, which is finding the deal for somebody else? What is your main objective? And that's what you put out there first. And you put it out all the time. So if you walk up to somebody and just share, well, I'm an investor, I'm buying houses, I'm selling houses, I'm looking for something I can flip, I'm looking, for something for this other person, it's going to sound too busy and nobody will take you serious. So your 30-second commercial where you introduce yourself, I always say it should always say who you are, who you help, how you help them, and why did you choose that? Because people buy you when they buy your story. And you don't want to make up a story. You want to tell the real, true you. Most people think, well, if this person's stories are successful, then I'm going to see how I can emulate that. And you see it. Like in network marketing, they tell you this person has a fancy car, this person has a lifestyle, and they tell you to go share that lifestyle. But not everybody's interested in network marketing for that lifestyle. They want to be interested in that because they like you. And so even in selling real estate, buying real estate, people have to get comfortable with you. You are the brand that you want to put out there. So again, you first have to determine what part of real estate you're going to focus on. And you've got to have a focus, because once you focus, it's like going to the gym. If you focus on your stomach, it's going to be really visible that you focused on your stomach, because you're going to see some changes. But if you try to work on your whole body at one time, you won't see total, you won't see that real change in your stomach area. You'll be looking for results all over, which takes longer. If you focus even on a specific area when you're doing your real estate. This is why I say when you come out to a networking event, don't come out one time. Choose the networking event. Choose 2 or 3, depending on how big you want to grow your investing business. There might be 4 different groups you want to connect with at GaREIA. It might be deal makers. It might be, foreclosures in the evening. But pick 4 different things and go to something once a week. Go to something once a week. If you go to, when I first came back to GaREIA, Karen made me feel so warm and fuzzy. I loved her. I walked into the room and I recognized nobody, knew nobody, and I felt like I was a babe out of the water. But I've been going there. I've been, consistently going back to the same meeting. People now see me. They know me. They feel comfortable with me. And now they'll come to me and say, oh, this is what you do, and start questioning. And so that's what you want to do, Anissa. You want to figure out, and anybody on this call, figure out the groups you want to connect with. But don't go there, sneak in the room late, leave early. Get there when they open up for questions, even if you just say, hi, my name is John Smith, and I'm new to GaREIA. Hi, everybody. People will come up to you afterwards. Your whole goal in networking is to get people to come to you, but they won't do that until they get comfortable with you. So let's pretend you and I are at an event at GaREIA. Maybe we're even at the general meeting, and we don't know each other. How would you approach me?
Okay. I'm going to use my coffee business because I have a little bit more experience in that. I'm pretty new with the real estate, so I'll start from there, okay?
Okay.
Hi, my name is Anissa Reed, and you are?
I'm Wendy Lovejoy. Nice to meet you.
Hi, Wendy Lovejoy. It's nice to meet you. And what do you do?
Why do you ask?
Well, I was just wondering because you look very professional. So I was just wondering what you do for a living.
Oh, I am a banker.
Okay, awesome. So you're a banker, and which bank are you a banker at?
Bank of America. We're just role playing, so that's not real. Okay,
awesome.
but let me do this, Anissa, and so now, guys, let's look at I'm going to show you the difference. If you are at GaREIA this Monday, you're going to get to see Anissa and I role play in person, some like a minute of scenarios. But if that were me, and the people the better way to do it is to walk up to somebody. We normally have a minute to connect at the general meeting. In that minute, you want to walk up to somebody, and your whole objective is not to get all their information on the first date. It's like on your first date, you're not looking to say, ooh, this is the man I'm going to marry. So you don't want to look at the person you're speaking to and say, this is the person that's going to find me my real estate deal, or they're going to buy my organo gold, or, I'm going to definitely sell them a property. None of that. You don't have time for that. So you walk up to somebody and you would do something like, hi, my name is Wendy Lovejoy. I am a real estate investor, and I buy and hold properties in the Stone Mountain area and Sandy Springs. Those are the areas I focus on. I've helped a few people move into properties. I've got a couple of tenants. But at this point, enough about me. What is your name and what do you do? Because the thing is, I have a lot of people in my Rolodex. I talk to a lot of people consistently, and I'm sure I know somebody that could use your services. So if we don't have a lot of time right now, we can exchange business cards, and after you tell me your name and what you do, let's set an appointment of when is the next best time to call you. Does that work for you?
Yes.
Okay, great. So you said your name was?
My name is Anissa Reed.
Mm-hmm. And your company?
And my company is Organo Gold. And
awesome.
What I do is, let me just tell you a little bit about me. What I do is I teach people how to have multiple streams of income from home. And I do that by teaching them how to start a coffee business and how to grow it from home.
Well, awesome, Anissa. I'm going to take your information and give you mine. The great thing is you seem to talk to a lot of people also. So if you know anybody that's looking to buy or sell a home in the Sandy Springs area or in Stone Mountain, real estate in general, would you refer them to me? And I know a few people interested in coffee, and I'll be happy to refer them to you. But I'll give you a call tomorrow if that works for you. Can we do in the morning, or would late in the afternoon be better?
Let's do in the morning, and that's awesome, Wendy, because I do know a couple of people who are interested in real estate.
Awesome. I will give you a call. I'm going to move on to the next person. So thank you so much. It's a pleasure meeting you. And I'm definitely going to shake the person's hand, give them eye contact, and give a smile. Your whole body language in networking is what people are attracted to. So if you walk in a room and you sneak in and you kind of like stay in the corner, people feel your energy. But when you walk into a room and you kind of command it with your presence, and you don't come in bogarting the room, but you come in confident, like I can help these people and these people can help me. That's a whole different energy than walking into a room feeling like, oh, my God, I don't know anybody here. Am I going to really get I need to find somebody who's going to get me a property, and how do I find them? It's a whole different energy. Whatever you're thinking, people feel it in your presence. So I always say have your 30-second commercial ready, and it might change slightly, but your focus is to walk up to somebody and not try to sell them on finding you a property, but to really sell them on building a relationship with you. One of the things, again, I go back to Karen, is she built a relationship with me. She asked me, what do you do? What do you like to do? When were you last here? What made you come back now? And then she said, wow, you'd be a great fit here. And these are the people that you should connect with. That is what you're looking to do in your networking. You're always looking for the people you can be of help to, not the people you can sell to. Nobody wants to be sold. I got this property. I got this 4-bedroom, this 2-bath, and it rents for $950, and the mortgage is $600. Those are great numbers, but you'll get more people if you have more people knowing who you are. They'll be more comfortable doing that transaction with you. So that's the main thing in that scenario. So, Anissa, do you feel like I answered your question, or do you have any more to it?
That's awesome, because I find that a lot of times, the scenario is going to be different each time, but I find a lot of times what I did to where I ask for what other people do first before I introduce what I do first. So is there ever any time to where it would kind of switch? Or should I always introduce myself first and what I do first?
I would always introduce myself, but my intention is, how can I help this person? You know, not how can this person help me? Because by me thinking, how can I help them, they're going to be so grateful of the help I gave them, they're going to want to help me. But when my intention is, let me figure out if this person can give me, find me some property, or maybe they have the mailing list I want, or maybe they can tell me how to do a yellow letter. They feel it. You ever see a bunch of animals? If you watch any of the animal kingdom type shows, if you see animals running and a lion is chasing it, or a jaguar, it's looking for the weakest link. And those animals are running away because they feel like something's coming to devour it. When people see somebody coming at them, or if they know you approach them in a way of, what do you do? Why do you do it? Let me see how I can sell you what I do. You're not really concerned about what I want to do. You just want to sell me something. They're not looking to build a relationship with you. So your whole goal is to, your first time at any place, you want to see who it is you feel an energy with. You feel like, okay, or you feel like there's some sort of a connection. When I first started this, I am not exaggerating. I didn't know how to ask people information. I was pretty much like you, and I went to a Robert Allen seminar, and he had written the book No Money Down, and he did a follow-up book. Well, in that follow-up book, he talks about the group I was with. We flew to San Diego, and the first thing he said to me is that I didn't know how to ask people for stuff. So the following morning, I was taken to the downtown San Diego, like it was still dark outside, like 6 in the morning, and I couldn't tell people I was at a Robert Allen seminar, but they dumped me in the middle of nowhere, San Diego, and I had to literally stand out there and ask people, do you have any change? Can you please, and show them my cup. And I learned a lot from that experience, because people were walking by saying, you don't need any money. You have on alligator loafers. You don't need any money. How can you afford tweed pants and you're saying you look money? You look too well kept. And I couldn't say I'm at a seminar. I ended up asking people from that time in the morning to about 4 o'clock before it hit me that I couldn't just walk up to people and say, give me a quarter. I had to build a quick relationship. And as soon as that shifted in my head, I was able to fill my cup right away, and then they let me come back to the hotel. So your goal is always to ask people what you can do for them, like to make the conversation about them. The person asking the questions is the person that's in control. The person that is trying to sell is not in control. So, and I want you to get the gist of the process, because the process is the same no matter what you're looking for. Whether you want to find people that you can flip homes to, or you want to find people that you want to do a lot of rentals with, whatever it is, it's the same process. You got to figure out what part of the real estate you like, what part of the real estate you want to put energy into, and then you want to figure out what type of people you want to build relationships with. If I don't like to eat shrimp, I'm not going to go to a pond that's all I can get. No matter how much money people tell me I can get that shrimp for, how cheap it is, because I don't like it. So even if you figure out, okay, I'm going to go to wholesaling because everybody says I should wholesale, and that's going to get me to where I want to go. If you don't like it and you don't build your why and you don't really figure out why you want to do this and get a love for the type of people you're going to meet in doing that, it's not going to work for you. So the other point I want to get across is don't get caught up in the money. Get caught up in the skill sets. And you only perfect your networking skill sets by going out and networking. The more you network, there's no wrong way to collect a business card or to get one. But you perfect these skills as you keep doing it. And so don't feel like, oh, wow, Wendy's telling me something different, so now I'm not going to go out until I get it. No, go out even more. Live at GaREIA if you can. Go to every event you can go to. When you go to church and you're leaving church, make it a point to talk to 3 people. You don't want to sell them anything, but you never know. That could be somebody sitting right next to you at church that could be going through a foreclosure. Somebody sitting right next to you at church that has a sister moving from Houston that might want to buy something in the very area or rent something, and you have the property. But you have to be willing to just share what you do without it being, well, what do you do for a living? How do you do it? It's got to come up naturally in conversation. So hopefully that made a lot of sense. And we can take one more scenario, and and then we can open up for questions and see what people want to ask on networking. But did that make sense for you, Anissa?
Yes, that was awesome tips, and I just want everyone to keep in mind that we are role playing, and a lot of these things, a lot of these questions that are coming up are pretty much for the new beginner. These are the things that we face if we're not used to speaking to people and introducing ourselves and what we do. So I guess, Wendy, you covered how to introduce our business and how we should ask for prospect information. You covered that with the first scenario. So I guess the next question would be, how should we ask for referrals?
Awesome. And that's a great thing, because referrals are part of your pie. Remember, there's 8 pieces to your marketing, and one of it is unpaid sales force. And unpaid sales force is the people that will give you referrals. You know, Karen tells people all the time, oh, if you want to learn about Facebook, Wendy knows Facebook, Wendy does social media, or Wendy's good, and this person is good at that. And she doesn't say, you know what, I referred you, I need some money. So that's an unpaid sales force. Anybody that will give you a referral, you want to get really good at that. Because when your business is, from referrals, that is a whole nother level. I literally ask for it just as I'm talking to you. When I say, who do you know? I talk to a lot of people on a daily basis, and I'm sure I have somebody that will be willing, that I could refer to you. And in kind, would you do the same for me? If you know anybody looking for real estate. So you see, I covered all of that in my 1-minute commercial. And that's what you want to do when you're at a networking event. You don't have time to make the sale, to find the deal. You might find one deal if you stay with one person. Your goal at a networking event is to connect with as many people as possible. And it's not just important that you know them. It's important that they know you and what you do. And so this way they will put it out there and share your information. Another way to get referrals and have unpaid sales force is to be on social media sharing your information. I say this all the time. GaREIA has 3 Facebook pages, and there's a lot of people connected to every single page. We're on LinkedIn. We're on Meetup. We're on the YouTube channel. I am not. Let me just share a story with you. Years ago, if you're in the New York area, there was a person who was like a great DJ, and he passed away years ago. I literally put something on. I saw that on a YouTube channel. Somebody had put one of his old little clips of him, on a video, and I went there and I made a comment. I have gotten at least 10 new friends from making a comment on something that had nothing to do with real estate, had nothing to do, it was about a DJ. And the people connected to me, and one of the people that connected to me on there, I directed them to my Facebook page. They saw that, oh, she's into real estate. And when they had somebody who was looking to buy and sell in Atlanta and in New York, they put the person in contact with me. Because when you don't be afraid to go to the GaREIA YouTube and subscribe. And when you see a video you like, leave a comment. It's putting your name out there. And so when people see you made a comment that touches them in any way, they're going to come back to you. The same thing works on Facebook. I had a young lady ask me today, well, why would I leave a comment on somebody like a Robert Kiyosaki's page? He's not going to friend me. No, he's not. And you never know, he could. I was shocked at some of the people when I'm constantly on their page, not only pressing like, but I'm also leaving a comment that have come back and requested me as a friend. But not only that, when you go on their page and you leave a comment, and it has, you don't want to say, the worst way to turn somebody off at a networking event is to automatically walk up to them and say, you know what, I need a house. What house do you have? Because they're going to feel like you're kind of like you don't care. People need to feel you care. So the first thing you want to do is when you go on these social media sites, GaREIA, that's the perfect place to share who you are and then to look and see who's making comments that you like. Every so often, one of the people that writes a lot of comments on a few social media sites on GaREIA is Kurt Smith. And when I see something Kurt said, that I'll just go in there and make a quick comment too. And people start getting familiar with the name Wendy Lovejoy, as opposed to you thinking as soon as you get in there, they're going to say, oh, I want to connect with you and I'm going to give you 10 houses or I want to buy 10 houses from you. No, but if you are on different social sites, you go to every one of our Facebook pages, you start making comments on any of the pictures or any of the posts that relate to something that you want to communicate about, but you're consistent. It's like networking. It does not work by doing it one time. You got to be consistent. So if you can take 10 minutes a day and go to Facebook, to Meetup, to LinkedIn, to Twitter, and just leave a comment, people will start seeing your name. Then they'll go find you on Facebook. So one of the things you want to do is on your Facebook page, put some comments of things going on at GaREIA. And you don't have to be the marketing director to do that. Just put some comments. Say some experiences you're having. And your whole goal is for people to get to know you and what you're offering and what you're looking for. And your name will start being the name that they look for when they want anything done in your arena. So I'm hoping that I answered that, because I have such a passion for marketing. I can go on and on and on and on, and so I want to make sure I covered your answer. Did I?
Yes, you did.
Awesome.
Thank you.
So I really want to thank you for doing this call with me, Anissa. And what we're going to do now is open up for some questions, and hopefully if anybody even has a question for Anissa, feel free to, because like she said, we're role-playing tonight. So I asked her to role-play somebody who's like at the very beginning of their business. All right, with that being said, I just want to share with everybody, I went over the bare basics, Anissa Reed and myself, but I really encourage you to come out on Tuesday, April the 21st. Come to GaREIA at 7 p.m. And you guys are familiar with Peter Pasternak. He was on A&E Split My House. He's going to be at GaREIA sharing how to network for profit. The last time we had him at GaREIA, it was beyond standing room only. I mean, it was packed. And so I really believe it's going to do the same thing this trip, and we want you to come out and get the benefits, because you may take networking very lightly, but it's a huge pie, a huge benefit of your marketing pie. It's really going to help you to close more real estate deals, to learn how to network for profit, and not just go networking, to go to an event, to be like, I know everything and I don't need any more information, or just to hand out cards.
It's going to take you longer to grow your business that way. I definitely want to say thank you, Anissa, for doing the call with us tonight. And if you missed the call and you want to hear a replay, we did start off a little later. If you want to hear a replay, you can check the website and see when the call replay is up. And I encourage you to get other people to listen and to watch this again on YouTube. And please leave comments, and people will get to know who you are. So, again, thank you so much, Karen, for allowing us to do this. Executive Director Karen Yap, thank you for making sure that the call went well also. And, again, thank you for all you do at GaREIA. With everybody else on the call, we respect your time. So, with that being said, I look forward to seeing some of you at the general meeting this Monday. Come out to the Wyndham Hotel. Try to get there as close to 6 o'clock as possible if you can. And you'll definitely get a good experience at networking with people that want to buy and sell homes. With that being said, this call is officially over. Thank you so much. Have a great night.